Hello, everyone. I have with me today Professor Anwil Hassan from the University of Middlesex. Professor Hassan has over 130 publications, and this includes journal articles, book chapters, and books. Professor Hassan, this is great achievement, and I would like you to talk us through your academic journey, some of the challenges you've had, and how you've gotten to where you are.
Excellent. I'm so happy to be here today and talk to you. It's a real pleasure to do that. And I mean, if you talk about my academic career, I guess this starts with my studies after secondary school. And I must say there wasn't really any grand design or strong purpose behind my academic history. Unlike some other academics, I've never really had a burning passion for a particular academic subject when I was young. Some people have that from the age of 4 or 5. I didn't. But foreign languages always fascinated me. So in my teens, I did study 6 languages at secondary school, which included Dutch, which is my native language, English, French, German, Latin, and Greek. And I graduated in 5 of them. I dropped Greek at some stage. And I added geography and history, so very much languages and humanities selection. I did take economics as an extracurricular subject. And that choice of subject was always called a pretpakket in the Netherlands, which translates in English as a fun curriculum. It was seen as kind of an easy option for pupils who had no abilities in the supposedly more difficult subjects. I don't think in my case a lack of ability in science subjects was the main reason for choosing languages. I was quite decent in mathematics, and I really did enjoy chemistry too. But I really didn't enjoy maths. And I think part of that was simply the teacher, which often happens when you're in your teens. Teachers are very important. He didn't really think mathematics was for girls. And I grew up in the 70s, so that was quite a common occurrence in those days. But the problem was that not graduating in mathematics meant that I had to close the door to most university degrees. All I could do was a language or law. I didn't want to do law, and I didn't really want to study one language either. This was one of the reasons why I decided to do a vocational degree and not go to university. The other reason probably was that none of the older generation in my family and only 2 or 3 of my 40-odd cousins had ever tried to go to university. A couple of cousins did, but never finished. So university just didn't feature on my horizon. And I did a vocational degree in business and languages for 3.5 years. And I learned how to write business letters in French, in English, and in Spanish. I kind of learned the basics of marketing, finance, and accounting, and a bit of management. But that was it. But then that really didn't satisfy me. So after being coached in mathematics by my boyfriend, who's now my husband, he was an electrical engineer and later a computer science engineer, I passed a deficiency course in mathematics. And I'm really proud that I passed with a 10 out of 10, which I've never done before and never since. And I went on to study economics and business after all. And I chose international business. So that's where the connection with languages came in as well. But the problem was that after I graduated, after that 4-year degree, I still had no idea what I wanted to do. I was 26, but I still had no idea. So I did some freelance work for the Dutch Open University, and I wrote a course on international human resource management. So this included being a co-editor for an English language textbook, which was published by Sage. And that textbook is now in its 5th edition. It first came out in '94, but it has had new editions regularly since. 6th edition is coming out later this year. And in the course plan for this international HRM course, I had included a book on headquarters subsidiary relationships in multinational corporations and the role that expatriates who are sent out from headquarters to the foreign subsidiaries played in this. But I couldn't really find anyone to write it. So I decided to write it myself. And I did a lot of research on this and read a lot of literature on this. But in the end, the chapter didn't make it into the book, and I had put so much work into it. So I very pragmatically decided to do a PhD on the topic because I really enjoyed working in academia, I discovered. So that's how I rolled into doing a PhD into international business. It really wasn't a grand design. It just happened because I enjoyed working in academia and wanted to stay on.